and then it just comes out of that little hole. Hi guys, it's your new favorite beauty egg at it again, me, aka Erica, aka Lilith. And today I have a fresh batch of brand new products to try on camera with you. Some of them for the first time, some of them I've already tried. So let's get into it. Stop right there. If you enjoy some cool makeup pictures or short tutorials, this is my Instagram and this is my TikTok. Follow me on there. And if you like to watch beauty reviews, makeup tutorials, or if you simply like to learn some new makeup techniques that you might have not seen before, consider subscribing to this channel also. And without further hesitation, let's get into it. I have this brand new palette, which is a collaboration between a French YouTuber called Coralie and Beauty Bay, and the palette looks like this. So very beautiful, colorful, rainbowy, pastel-y type of a palette with two giant highlights. I personally love Beauty Bay's eyeshadow formula. I have some of their older palettes, some of their newer palettes, and both of them really good. So I have really high hopes for this palette. I want to recreate this look by the Brooks brother on Instagram that looks something like this. I think it's super beautiful and I really want to recreate it. So we're gonna do that, but I want to use slightly different colors. I'm thinking of dipping into these two, this really light lilac and this mint color, possibly topping it off with this like bluey shifting highlighter. I think that would look cool on top of it. So I just primed my eyes using some P.Louise and I used the Rumor 2 shade just on the top here, and I also used this Vivid Violet just a little bit where I'm going to be putting down the lilac color. So I'm just gonna start by picking up the lilac color and packing it over where we just laid down the base. Putting down a colored base before you do your eyeshadows, just like the purple P.Louise one, is really great if you want to just heavily saturate your eyeshadows and make them stay in place at the same time. So I'm taking this up to my crease and then I'm just softening the edges the tiniest bit. This already looks great. The eyeshadow is really smooth, it's going on like a dream. You don't have to build it up too much or anything like that. I honestly haven't expected anything else from Beauty Bay eyeshadows, so now I'm going to take the mint shade and I'm going to blend out the purple with it just because I feel like these two would look really cool together, so why not? So this is blending wonderfully so far and I think these two colors look sick together. I haven't ever done this color combo, but so I have the new Fenty Beauty Bright Fix Eye Brightener and I definitely want to try this today because ever since I've seen it on Trend Mood and on Fenty's Instagram, I've been wanting to try it. I love color correcting under my eyes. I love just concealing those dark circles.
So this is meant to blur and brighten. It's a serum-like texture that melts into the skin for sheer to buildable coverage. It's meant to look very natural under the eyes and it's meant to reduce the appearance of dark circles obviously and makes under eyes appear smoother. That's a lot of very strong big claims. It's also meant to be crease, sweat and humidity resistant, just like most things that Fenty makes for skin, I think. It's available in 16 shades and this can be worn alone or you can layer it with the Pro Filtr Instant Retouch Concealer by Fenty Beauty or I guess with any other concealer also.
So I'm just going to use my Fenty Beauty Ease Drop Skin Tint. I am in the shade number 2. And I'm just using my IT Cosmetics foundation brush. I figured I would just do Fenty since we're doing Fenty concealers. I'm gonna do a Fenty skin. So I used the skin tint all over and then I kind of just spot concealed wherever I needed a little bit more coverage. And now we can actually do the under eyes. So this is the shade Seashell 03 and this is the third lightest shade. And this is the second, like a peachy, pinky undertoned one that I found. That, to be honest, I prefer for my under eyes a peachier concealer or where I'm correcting definitely like a light peachy color corrector. I really wanted to try Rose Quartz. I haven't gotten that one in the post, but if this one is a little bit too dark, I'm definitely gonna order that one and I'm gonna give it another try because that one seems like a really light pink and honestly that seems like a perfect color to color correct for me. But seashell also looks really nice, so I want to try it on its own first, and if it's not going to be enough coverage or if the color of it looks a little strange, I am going to use concealer on top of it. So this is what the packaging looks like. It's like a really funny looking applicator. And then it just comes out of that little hole. So I'm gonna squeeze a little bit out. Ooh. And honestly, this seems like a really nice color, to be honest. Maybe I will not need rose quartz. And I'm just gonna take my sponge and we'll blend her in. So here's no product under this eye, and here is the Fenty eye brightener under this one. The coverage is pretty good, I would say. It's definitely not full coverage. I can still see my dark circle through, but if I was to put concealer on top of that, I'm pretty confident that it would cover my under eyes. One thing that I noticed straight away is how easily this blends. Like, this blended literally like nobody's business. And it's nice and glowy, it looks very natural, it doesn't look heavy whatsoever, which is usually the problem with products under the eyes, just because we don't really want to load the product under the eye, because then it looks all cakey and we have to bake and all of that kind of stuff to actually keep it in place all day. But this looks really, really nice and natural. Honestly, I like the weird applicator as well. I feel like you can just squeeze a little bit out and then it kind of stays on the tip there and you can kind of just smudge it around your under eye. I would still prefer a tiny bit more coverage in these areas. I'm pretty sure you can still see a little bit of shadow there. And I do prefer a tiny bit more brightening. Let's try to put a little bit of concealer on top of it. And this is my Pro Filtr Instant Retouch Concealer by Fenty Beauty in shade 110. So I'm gonna put the tiniest bit here and also in the outer corner like that. So this is both the eye brightener and concealer, and this is just the eye brightener. I'm really happy with the amount of coverage and brightening I'm getting on this side now, so I would be really happy to just set this and be done with it. That looks really good. I'm really happy with how bright my under eyes are. Eye Captain. Again, I don't have anything new for contour, so I'm just gonna contour and I'll be back. I have a new powder that I would love to try, and it is this Lottie London pressed setting powder with hyaluronic acid and blue light blocking platinum. It looks like this. It looks quite regular, just like a white translucent powder. It also comes in this color right here. So this one is meant to be the true translucent and this one is meant to be the warm translucent. And we're gonna set her in place. And I'm gonna set my smile lines a little bit as well, and I want to use the TikTok hack that we've tried last week, where you blow up your cheeks and you set your smile lines like that. Okay, this is a judgment-free zone. I am actually unironically using some of those hacks from last week. I like this powder. I've tried this before, I think twice, and it pretty much acted just like any other very finely milled translucent pressed powder. So I'm going to super lightly dust this over the rest of my face, just because we're gonna go in with a powder cheek palette and I don't really want to put that on a wet base. Okay, now that I'm more matte than I ever wanted to be, it's time for a face palette. And I have two here. I am not actually sure which one I want to use. This is the e.l.f. Cosmetics in collaboration with Jen Atkin, and this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Italian Summer face palette. Both of these are the lightest shades. Just looking at these colors, I prefer the bronzer shade in this palette here. I prefer the blush and the highlighter in the Anastasia palette. I think I'm gonna go with the Anastasia one just because I like the highlighter there better and I like the formula of the blush better. So I'm going to go in with the bronzer first. This was very pigmented when I swatched it, so since I'm literally paler than the wall almost, I am going to go in very lightly. It's really powdery and it has a lot of kickback. I'm kind of just very lightly sweeping it over my face. I think this honestly looks really good. A little bit on the neck. Now I just cleaned off the brush on my sweatpants. And I'm going to dip into the blush with the, oh, very powdery as well. Which is surprising because the formula, when you touch it with your fingers, it literally feels so creamy that you would expect no kickback. But it has a lot. Interesting. Just concentrating it on the highest point of my cheek. The highlighter doesn't have as much kickback in the pan. Actually, considering how powdery these are when I dip my brush in them, it's shocking how creamy and buttery they go on the cheeks. Interesting. But I mean, the final result, I guess, is what matters the most to me, at least. And that is really, really beautiful. So, yeah, the highlighter is very natural. I almost would prefer it to have more impact. But I think that's not what they were going for with this palette. I think this was meant to be very natural vibes, which my highlighter is usually like almost straight up glitter, so no wonder I would prefer it to have more impact. What I might do, I might take the Beauty Bay palette and I'm gonna dip into Coconut Glow, and that one seems like it's going to have the impact that I'm looking for. Ooh. Okay, now I'm definitely channeling the shiny egg. My boyfriend just walked into the room and I tried to blind him with my cheeks like Cyclops from X-Men. But instead of my laser eyes, I have laser cheeks. Do we add freckles? Okay, I'm just gonna finish up my eyes and then it's time to do the lips. Okay, so I added pearls also on top of doing the graphic liner. So this is not new, but I want to use this color lip liner, the House Labs R.I.P. lip liner in Myth. Okay, I went a little overboard with that top lip there. I really want to use these Lottie London oil slicks. I've had one of these before and I believe it was clear, but I think these are slightly tinted. Okay, so I tried to look online, but I couldn't actually find whether these are tinted or not. If they are tinted, it's very slightly, and they only like enhance the natural lip color. They're not gonna like give us a straight up color, if that makes sense. But the formula on this, oh my gosh. If you like lip oils, if you like non-sticky lips but you still like hydration, this is for you. Honestly, these are so good, and I think I entirely used up the one I had. I'm pretty sure, because I just used it constantly. I really want to use this peachy color here. This is the Oil Slick in Peachy Cheeks, and holy the smell of this. Artificial peach. And the one last thing that we have left is setting spray. This is the one by e.l.f. Cosmetics and Jen Atkin. This is called Mist Me, question mark. Like Mist Me. A lightweight hydrating facial mist moisturizes the skin and refreshes makeup with an irresistible coconut scent. Coconut scent. I can't smell anything. I'm a fan of coconut smell on my body, maybe hair. Not really the face. Oh, okay, I can smell it. Okay, the mist on this, very fine. I mean, oh my god, look at that shine. Right, let's do the final thoughts on everything. This palette is a hell yeah. I mean, the colors applied beautifully. I used this highlighter as well, which looks gorgeous. Again, Beauty Bay eyeshadow formula did not disappoint, and I expected nothing less. Honestly, these are great. The Fenty Beauty Eye Brightener. There are a lot of things that I like about this product. It blended out like a dream. It didn't sit on top of the skin. It looked very natural under the eyes, and it added a solid amount of coverage. Also, I like the fact that these meant to be color correctors and concealers in one, and I like the shade range. I like that there are very peachy, very pinky shades, orangey towards the darker side of the spectrum. I really enjoy color correcting under the eye, so that might be an individual thing, but I really enjoy this. I am not sure about the non-creasing. I don't ever trust a concealer that says it's not going to crease. I will set it with powder regardless of what it says. Okay, because literally every single concealer on the planet Earth creases on me if I don't set it with powder. But yeah, I would say not necessary. It is like a luxurious extra step to your under eye brightening, or if you're looking for a natural concealer, this might be the one for you. The Lottie London powders, it was great, honestly. I think it could be an alternative to a higher end pressed translucent powders that we kind of see almost every brand has. The Anastasia Cheek Palette. If I was to not take the price into consideration, I would say this is an amazing palette. All of the shades worked amazingly, even on my skin tone, which I was scared of that bronzer. This screams summery, bronzy, glowy skin when I look at this palette. It might be great on the go as well if you want to like top up throughout the day, because you do have all three shades here. So yeah, I really like this, and I'm definitely going to be using this going forward. So yeah, I really enjoy this palette. These Lottie London Oil Slicks, I absolutely love them. I think you should definitely give them a try if you are on the hunt for something hydrating for your lips that looks beautiful throughout the day. This setting spray was really nice, honestly. If, again, you're on a hunt for a new setting spray, not bad. If you do have another setting spray, I'm pretty sure it does the same thing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and let me know which one of these products caught your eye, which one of these products do you like the look of, which one of these products have you already tried? Are you planning on trying any of these? Let me know. So with that said, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye! Hair on my face. It's like unbearable tickling.